If you are on Section 8 housing or know someone on Section 8, the Section 8 housing program is on the chopping block. Under the Trump administration's new proposal, HUD's rental assistance could face a 43% cut. That's nearly $27 billion gone. That means millions of low-income families could lose their housing support they desperately depend on. But it doesn't stop there. The plan will replace the federal program with state-run block grants. Translation, your housing help will depend entirely on your state. Some states could keep strong programs, others could slash them altogether. Even more shocking, a proposed 2-year time limit on vouchers for able-bodied adults. The elderly and disabled are protected. Now, after 2 years, no matter your situation, your assistance ends. Experts warn that this can displace more than 1.4 million households, many of them working families with children. Here's a sign that is about to happen to me. Developers are already backing out on affordable housing projects, with $50 billion in loans stalled because no one knows if this funding will survive. This isn't just a budget trim, it's a total overhaul of Section 8 housing as we know it. If paused, millions could be left scrambling to find a place to live. This is a warning. Get your households in order, because the Section 8 program is going to be very, very different in the near upcoming future.
So the president has directed HUD, or U.S. Housing Development, to remove illegal aliens from the Section 8 program. And it goes for mixed families also, meaning like if you are a citizen who is on a Section 8 program and you have family members who reside with you that's possibly illegal, you could get removed from the Section 8 program or evicted. So this administration is not playing. But it also explains, like, damn, illegals was all these years, illegals was getting Section 8. They was getting on the Section 8 program. And this explains why it took so many years for a citizen, someone who is a citizen living in the urban areas to get onto the Section 8 program. I knew people, and I'm from the urban area. I knew people, friends, family, or heard of people who was waiting on the Section 8 list for 10 to 15 years. Like, damn. And now it makes sense to me why it took so long, because the illegals are immediately pushed ahead of you when you are a citizen. They are pushed ahead of you in all aspects, programs, welfare, Section 8. They're pushed ahead of you, like you're behind them. No wonder it took so long. And I recall going into the welfare system, the welfare offices. You be in there waiting for hours, and I've seen people in there waiting for hours to get services, and then you go in, you sign up, and then then they make you leave when you don't got none of your information. Then you got to qualify when you're a citizen, and then they treat you like shit. And then when you try to call them they don't ever answer. And these people be in there waiting for hours to show information. If you know how it is. If you've been through the struggle, you know what we go through. And then people being there waiting for hours, 6, 5 hours. And then you see these Spanish families come in there and they go right to the back. They never wait. If they waiting, they be waiting 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and they go right to the back and they help them ASAP, give them programs. And we used to see it. If you from the communities and you've been through it, been through the struggle, you've seen it. You've seen it with your own eyes. They were always ahead of you, or always ahead of us. And now that shit coming to an end.
Big update. A process for removing lifelong Section 8 housing recipients has been drafted. People will not be allowed to get Section 8 for more than 2 years.
Section 8 people are getting cameras
Section
put
8
in your
recipients,
house.
y'all on the map. And if this is facts, a whole lot of y'all about to be in trouble. These folks say that all y'all that's on Section 8, they finna install cameras inside and outside your house to monitor all the activity that's going around. So y'all that's making cash on the side, ain't happening no more. How y'all got your little boyfriends and sleepovers and shit, ain't happening no more. Boy, somebody gonna have to get a job. Some of y'all got jobs. I hope you do, because guess what? You're going to have to get off that shit. You're going to go get you another job. But these folks gonna be all up in y'all business. You know what I'm talking about? In your business. That's what happened with the government. They all in your business. You had to give them all your business to get that shit, and guess what? They won't know what the fuck you got going on in your house. Inside and outside. So ain't nobody sleeping outside. Ain't nobody sleeping inside. They finna surveillance your ass inside and out. Boy, this finna be hell to tell the captain out here, boy. They finna put y'all ass through the wringer. That shit is real, y'all in trouble. Pull that shit up. You think I'm playing? I hope I'm not. I know I'm not. But y'all ass in trouble, boy. I'm out. Pull that shit up. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm out.
So they drafted the rules and started the process of ending long-term Section 8. The rule will be you can be on Section 8 for no more than 2 years. In 2026, they're going to start sending out notifications to people on Section 8 that you have 60 to 90 days that Section 8 will no longer be available to you. So, if you're on Section 8, you might want to start considering what you're going to do, because look it up, Section 8 will no longer be a thing where a person can live in the house for years and years and years. Section 8 is built for short term and people in need. Granted, some people are disabled and they need it, but that's what they're up to. They're getting ready to pull your Section 8. You won't be able to use it for more than 2 years. Comment and let me know if you have any questions.
Breaking news. It is now mandatory for anyone on Section 8 to be removed if you have had it more than 2 years, with exceptions.
Thanks, Donna. The White House announced new Section 8 eligibility restrictions. More details from the current administration are expected Monday.
Guess which race has the highest percentage of people on Section 8?
I've been a Section 8 investor for 10 years, and I'm telling you the vast majority are Caucasians. Now I want to tell you how some of these folks had access to millions in assets, but were still qualifying for government assistance. About 8 years ago, my mentor was trying to teach me about trust and trust structure. And he started sharing information on some of his friends that have been gaming the system all these years. Just by moving all these assets into the trust, they had no income and no assets on paper. So therefore, they can start qualifying for whatever they needed. Section 8, food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare, you name it. But then he really blew my mind, because these parents that had put all their assets into a trust, now when it was time for their kids to go to college, guess what? Now they qualify for student loans, grants, Pell Grants, things of that nature. Instead of the parents having to pay the full ride for school, financial aid paid half, student loans paid the other half. But guess what? Since that student was still a beneficiary, the trust actually paid for the student loan portion. And don't get me wrong, after you see the power of this information, I see why it's being gatekept so much. And no, these individuals not going on Law Depot and LegalZoom getting those free trust structures, because that ain't it. Listen, comment the word trust below, and I'm going to send you a free training that's going to show you how to put your family into position in the next 7 days. Because the elites that I've met are poor on paper, but got access to riches.